How is everybody doing? Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Mimi. Hello, Andrea. How are ya? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday upon us. Everybody is getting up. It's a beautiful day. What do we got? What do we got planned? What are we doing? Hey, Dr. Steve. Welcome, welcome. Let's do the mirror fix here. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome. We're going to chit chat today about everything lasting weight loss. You guys know the drill. How's your GLP-1 weight loss journey going? I want to talk to you guys about weight loss stalls. I want to talk to you about slow results. Are you a slow responder, non-responder on your GLP-1 meds? And if you are, good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Ann. Just leaving the gym, crushing it. That's awesome. You're leaving it from the gym. Heck yeah. That's dope. I got to get to the gym. I'm getting to the gym later, actually. I'm not going to get to the gym until this afternoon. So I got a little bit of time. If you guys are watching me on YouTube or Facebook, this is the new streaming platform. Actually, we're live on Twitter too, finally. I think we're live on Twitter as well. I finally got that all fixed up. Good morning. Introduce yourself, everybody, if you haven't already. Anthony, what about loose skin around the midsection? Yeah, I mean, when you lose weight too fast, you have loose skin. That's just how it works. Unfortunately, around the midsection is the worst too, because you can't build muscle to fix that. There's a couple things you can do: staying hydrated, reducing inflammation, keeping your protein intake high, certain creams, but they're only going to work so far, unfortunately. Good morning, Angel. Just wondering why I'm getting a rash and redness around the injection site. This does happen to some people. Taking antihistamines can be a solution, but if it continues to happen, I would definitely talk to the compounder. I would talk to whoever's supplying your GLP-1. Hey, Anthony, my wife's doing blood work with Jonathan next week. That's awesome, my man. Is your wife going to do certain coaching with us? What kind of program is she going to do? That does make me happy. We are live on Instagram too as well. Love it, love it. Let's see. We are live on Instagram. So we are just live everywhere right now. We're live on Twitter too, which is funny. I haven't been live on Twitter for a very long time. We had to get that going though. Oh, okay. So the things I want to talk about today specifically, good morning, Dustin. I want to talk about your results in your weight loss journey. Dustin is down 100 pounds. That is freaking awesome. We got 40 people watching us on TikTok or on Instagram live. All right. Love it, love it. Good morning, everybody. Oh, there we go. You guys can't tell, but I got this big old light right here behind me because you've probably heard me talk about light therapy. As soon as you wake up, you want to get light in your eyeballs first thing in the morning, as soon as you can. And if you wake up like I do before the sun gets up, before the sun is out, I have this 10,000 lux lamp right here. We have our favorite lamp. It's hard to find a lamp that gives actual 10,000 lux, but you want 10,000 lux to hit those receptors in your eyeball because it boosts your cortisol in the morning. And believe it or not, you want cortisol in the morning. So, um, does L-carnitine help in weight loss? L-carnitine doesn't hurt. L-carnitine can help with weight loss. Yes, it can. So Let me know, guys. Are you currently? Hello, greetings, Blake. Blake says they are a hyper responder. That is freaking awesome. You're kicking ass, Blake, on your GLP-1 journey. Let me know in the comments how it's going. Introduce yourself. Let me know where you're watching from, and tell me how it's going. The good, the bad, the ugly. What I do is I help people achieve actual long-term lasting weight loss on their GLP-1 meds. So, this is such a big deal. Like people aren't taught how to do these medications correctly. People aren't taught how to support the medication, right? Support the GLP-1. Instead, what were you guys told? Just increase the dose. Just increase the dose. That's what you were told. Good morning. Let's just increase the dose. Have a nice day. And no coaching, no guidance, no structure, no support. Just increase the dose. Have a nice day. But, what does that do for you? Long term, what does that do for you? Manny Soul, how long can you be on a GLP-1? So, many people would say that you can be on a GLP-1 medication for the rest of your life. Now, me personally, I feel more comfortable saying to our patients that the goal is to decrease the dose. The goal is to decrease your dose long term as you improve your health. See, medication independence is a sign of improved health. You want to know the ultimate marker for health improvement? It is medication independence. Obviously, there's some genetic disorders, there's some particular issues where health improves with medication long term. On the short term, when medications are used correctly, and we're talking about all meds right now, yeah, that helps your health on the short term. But long term, if you can start to build some independence on medications from medications, that means your health is improving in the right way. Uh, I got a question about Retatrutide. I think Retatrutide. Hey, Charlotte. Good morning, everybody on Instagram. Um, I think Retatrutide. I just posted a video on YouTube. By the way, guys, if you're not checking me out on YouTube or if you're not following me on YouTube and you guys like the topics that I get into and you want to learn more about the things that I train on every single day, it's all on my YouTube. I post 3 comprehensive videos every single week about GLP-1s and peptides, the kind of stuff that nobody else will tell you. So go to YouTube right now and type in Dr. Jones DC. Type in Dr. Jones DC and you will find my YouTube. That's the best platform to follow me on. TikTok and Instagram and Facebook are cool, but if you want long form content where you can actually learn how to restore your health, how to microdose, how to get to microdosing to maintain your weight loss, then go to my YouTube. So, anyways, I did a video about Retatrutide. So here's the long end of it. Here's the short end of the long end short of Retatrutide. I think Retatrutide is powerful. That triple receptor, the glucagon receptor. See, a lot of people don't understand what that third receptor does. That third receptor, what it does is it increases your metabolic rate. It increases your fat burning. Glucagon raises blood sugar, and I think that's the problem. See, I've coached thousands of patients at this point on Retatrutide, hundreds of people, not thousands on Retatrutide, but we've been working clinically, me and my providers, because we service all 50 states, guys. In case you just joined us, my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. And so I work with my practitioners and we're working with patients. And what's really interesting about Retatrutide, let me know in the comments if you're on Retatrutide right now. If you're on Retatrutide right now, let me know in the comments, how is it going? Because I can tell you that there's a good amount of patients who don't respond to Retatrutide the same way. They get less appetite suppression. It's crazy. They're getting less appetite suppression on Retatrutide. And they thought that this was going to be the triple G. They thought this was going to be the answer to their problems. And then they found out, oh shit, it doesn't work as well, And so, hey, good morning, Becky. So my whole thing is this, like, you can't expect Retatrutide to fix a problem that Tirzepatide couldn't fix. This is so important. You can't expect Retatrutide to fix a problem that Tirzepatide couldn't fix. Good morning, Enzo. If you're not losing weight on Tirzepatide, then you probably need to address some of the key underlying reasons why you're not losing to begin with. Like, why are you not losing weight to begin with? There's a reason, and it's not something that retatrutide is going to fix. Now, if retatrutide does work for you, it's phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong. If retatrutide is, hey, Dr. Steve, if retatrutide is kicking ass for you, I've used it and I've gotten leaner with retatrutide. But if you get on retatrutide and it's not suppressing your appetite as well, then you're not going to be successful because nothing's going to override if you're eating like shit. Nothing's going to override if you're eating like crap. And I've seen too many patients have to go back to tirzepatide because they're not getting the proper appetite suppression that they needed for the base. Like, if you have chronic food chatter, you need something to block that. You need something to help you with that food chatter. Because if you're eating because you got to eat reasonably good most of the time. Like, that's just the reality of it. You can't eat junk food. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to eat perfect all the time, most people, but you got to eat reasonably good most of the time. That's how that works. And so what I find when people aren't getting they're not getting results from tirzepatide, it's usually one of four main reasons: cortisol issues, thyroid, inflammation, or insulin. It's like insulin resistance, high levels of inflammation, autoimmune diseases, non-autoimmune inflammation, cortisol issues. That's a common one that's also, I mean, they're all pretty common. I see these things every single day. And thyroid. If your thyroid isn't functioning properly, you're not going to lose weight. If your cortisol is high or dysregulated, you're not going to lose weight. If your inflammation is high, you're not going to lose weight. And if you're insulin resistant, good luck losing fat. Good luck losing fat. So now, those are the four main reasons why you would be a slow responder. And how you become a hyper responder is fixing those four issues. And I'm giving you guys the backbone so you understand and have like a framework to think about, like, why am I struggling? But one fifth category that I want to mention, and then you guys let me know what you want me to discuss today. I'm here for you. I have some time. You let me know what you guys want to learn about today. But if you were losing weight, it was going great, and then you hit a stall. If you hit a stall after losing weight, you lost 15, 30, 50 pounds, and then all of a sudden, bam, and you look at your situation and you're barely eating, like you're not eating that much food and you're still not losing. Let me know in the comments, is that your situation? You were losing weight and then all of a sudden you stopped, and you look at how much you're eating and you feel like you're not eating that much. If that's the case, drop it in the comments, by the way, so everybody can see how many of you guys are struggling with this issue. If that's the case, then you've actually entered a metabolic state that we call starvation mode. I call it battery saving mode, starvation mode, zombie mode. I'll explain why I call it zombie mode here in a second. The reason why this metabolic shift happens, and you can see it on labs, by the way. You can see this. We do comprehensive blood labs. And so we look at this stuff and we're seeing it and we're like, wow, this is a huge issue. So you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, right? Nobody's going to disagree with that. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. So what happens when you take these medications? You started eating less. You created a calorie deficit. You did it 7 days a week, every single day, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. Well, how do you think the body responds to a long-term calorie deficit? Week after week, month after month. This is well established in the literature what the body does. The body responds by slowing things down, by down-regulating the metabolism. This is what happens. So now you're burning less calories. Now you're burning less calories at rest. Because the majority of the calories that you burn doesn't come from exercise, just so you know. Most of the calories that you burn actually comes from your metabolic rate. Hey, Anya, good morning. So most of the calories you burn come from your resting metabolic rate, and now your resting metabolic rate slows down a lot because you put your body into this starvation mode situation. So your body's panicked, it's freaked out, so it turns down your metabolism. And so here are the symptoms. Let me know in the comments, are you struggling with these symptoms? Tiredness, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold, that's a big one. Feeling cold, or your body's all achy. Let me know in the comments, did those symptoms start? How many of you guys had these symptoms that started after you were on your medications for a while? This is all too common of an occurrence. You're on these medications and these symptoms start. Weight loss slows down and you hit a stall. So most doctors, like most doctors don't have a clue on how to fix this. Most doctors have no freaking idea on how to deal with this. Just out of curiosity, when you guys asked your doctor, hey, like, what do I do? My metabolic, like, I stopped losing weight. I'm just curious, so we can all have a little fun here. When you talked to your doctor about this situation, what did they say to do? Hey, Judy, yes, if you're in perimenopause, you have similar symptoms, but there's big differences between menopause, perimenopause symptoms. And by the way, we have women's health practitioners and we treat the perimenopause, menopausal women. And we have a really good track record for treating the perimenopause, menopausal situation. We can talk about that too as well. Let me know in the comments, are you hitting perimenopause, menopause right now and you don't have a solution? Because I want to talk about that as well. I think we have time to get into the whole menopause debacle. You know, what do you do if you're hitting menopause? Because it's such an important thing to understand because your hormones are shifting and that causes a downstream impact on weight loss and quality of life. Like this is a huge issue. Just started menopause. I lost weight and it's not continuous, so the weight loss stopped. Ashley says she went up in dose. Blake is saying she's cold all the time in menopause too as well. Yeah. Yeah, I mean if you have autoimmune disease, that's going to cause a huge issue too as well. Post-menopause, I'm on a GLP-1. I lost 30 pounds at maximum dose, hit a stall. Any recommendation? So we are literally talking about this, by the way, guys. If you're watching me on Instagram, welcome, welcome. We are talking about solutions to your stall. We're talking about solutions to become a hyper responder, to double your results on GLP-1 medications. If you guys just joined us, Mimi says she's so tired. We're going to help you fix these issues. Guys, welcome, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dr. Jones, DC. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. I like Tirzepatide better than Retatrutide, Smalley. Smalley? Smelly? Is that a smell? Yeah. So, um, we service all 50 states. My medical practitioners, me, my team of coaches. Happy Sunday. And we help people achieve long-term lasting weight loss. We fix the underlying roadblocks. We fix the underlying issues that people run into every single day. We use the lowest dose microdosing strategies of your GLP-1 medications. We use powerful peptides and strategic lifestyle interventions, balancing your hormones, addressing thyroid, cortisol issues. If you have inflammation, autoimmune disease, so we help you figure out what you have, all the roadblocks, and then we address them. so that the goal could be to stay on the lowest dose. And then when we help you hit your weight loss goal, we work with you to decrease the dose so you're stable so that you can stay on a micro dose to maintain your weight loss. Because that's what I think. Um, that's what I think is the best situation. You guys let me know. Do you want to wean off the medication and maintain your weight loss, or do you want to stay on a microdose? Let me know in the comments what's more interesting to you, weaning off entirely or microdosing to maintain. Because me personally, I'm probably going to microdose the GLP-1s for the rest of my life to help me maintain my weight loss, to help me control my food chatter, because I do have still a little bit left food chatter, even though I'm in great shape and relatively good health. Um, but I've noticed that 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, if I don't have any GLP-1, my food chatter can get it can get pretty intense. Now it's a lot better. It's a lot better than it was before. Um, but the thing that you guys, so I see a lot of people wanting to microdose for autoimmune inflammation, for general health. I love that idea. Love, love, love the idea of microdosing the medications to help you maintain health. So yeah, if the constipation, Carlene, is bad with Ozempic, increase your hydration, increase your fiber, um, or you might need to go carnivore. Carnivore diet, by the way, is a really powerful solution to constipation. I know that sounds a little wild. You're probably like, what the heck? The carnivore diet to solve my constipation, but it does. It does, and it can. So if we work with you, we figure that out. What do you think when people say Retta causes cancer? I go, ha 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 ha. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. um, uh, you know, GLP-1 medications likely reduce cancer. That's what I think. GLP-1 medications are very powerful tools that get to the root cause of insulin resistance and inflammation, and those are big drivers behind cancer. So now, if we're talking about thyroid medullary carcinomas in particular, those were increased in rodents. But hello, Judith. But I think overall, you have likely a decrease in cancer risk from these medications. But of course, you can still develop cancer on them, right? You can develop cancer off the medications. So you have to understand that a lot of people are going to develop cancer on these medications, just like a lot of people are going to develop cancer off the medications. And so, there will be, and there are currently clinical trials looking to assess cancer and these medications and the possible connections. But I think for me, understanding insulin resistance and understanding inflammation, I think those are the primary drivers behind cancer development, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So real quick, and then I'm gonna keep answering your guys' questions. We're gonna talk about becoming a hyper responder. This phone number right here on my shirt is actually the best number to reach out to my team. We have a lot of other powerful peptides, Kathy, that I want to talk about too as well, like Swoop 332, AOD. This is the best number to reach out to my team, guys. 229-441-3562. 229-441-3562. All you got to do is shoot us a text message there. Let them know that you want to get set up for a free consultation with my team, and they'll get you set up and the whole 9 yards. Okay, cool. So Tesamorelin, Judith, is usually in the evening. Tesamorelin is in the evening, 5 days on, 2 days off usually. How much does coaching cost? Hey, Jamila. So it depends on what level of coaching you want to get with me. Do you want one-on-one, which is my highest end? Honestly, you don't need one-on-one. My small group coaching, I think, is the best. That's what I recommend to everybody. Small group coaching, I think, has the highest value, and there's a tremendous amount of support that you can get. You have a guarantee of results. You get my help. You get my coach's help. So what, Jamila, and some of you guys are asking the questions on how do you figure out the pricing. This number right here is how you reach out to my team. Schedule a free consultation. I know for Instagram, the number is backwards. 229, if you're on Instagram, 229 441 3562. So shoot them a text message there and let them know that you want to get set up. When you do that, you can talk to my advocates and discuss pricing and the whole 9 yards. Because it's going to depend on what program, what packages, what specials. I don't deal with all that. I have my staff that does that. Yes, fire your questions away, guys. I am here to help you guys out. This is what we do all day, every day. This is what we do. Let's see. Okay. I work out 6 days a week. Is that too much? No, I don't think so. There's context needed, right? Like, um, if you're severely unhealthy and your body is fragile, then yeah, it might be too much. So I just don't know your history, so it's hard to say. Does MOTS-C help with burning fat? MOTS-C is amazing, by the way. MOTS-C helps with body fat, inflammation, insulin resistance. That's like the supercharger in the background. I'm currently on 7.5 milligrams weekly of Tirzepatide along 300 micrograms. Okay. Of Samorlin. That's fantastic. Mimi, if you're too tired to work out, then you need to get into my program so we can do a metabolic reset, so we can help supercharge your energy. 229. The number is 229, not 559. Sorry. 229 441 3562. It looks like a 5, doesn't it? I know I don't Instagram doesn't let me mirror the screen. I apologize. Well, when you're 67 years old, you're absolutely older, but there's plenty of 67-year-olds with really good energy. So, energy issues could be inflammation, it could be thyroid, it could be testosterone, it could be mitochondrial dysfunction. If your mitochondria aren't working as well, the mitochondria are responsible for um, converting the basically the food that we eat gets broken down into these certain substrates, and then these things enter the cells, and the mitochondria converts those things into energy, ATP. So if the mitochondria aren't working as well, you're not going to have energy. Good morning. Can you do a Publix GLP-1 food haul? It's on my list. It is on my list, Carlos, but I am by myself. Um, Make a shirt with it backward. That's a good one. Actually, that's a really good solution. Actually, I didn't think about that. You print the numbers backwards like that, and then the mirror will flip them. But then I have my other streaming devices that can mirror. So, but yeah, I'm actually live on multiple devices right now, and Instagram is the only one that doesn't have the mirror feature. Hello, Sally. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So let me know in the comments a little bit about your GLP-1 journey. What is going on? That could be a good solution. You put the mirrored version of the phone number and you put the regular version of the phone number. That is not a bad solution, actually. That would solve the problem. That's a good idea, actually. I'm gonna have to get new shirts, and that'll solve that problem, actually. Why am I not as hyped for Retatrutide? Because I've just worked with too many patients and it didn't suppress their appetite enough. I've worked with too many patients whose appetite was not suppressed enough. That's why. Um, Thinking about starting, but I'm so afraid I'm in a stall. What are you so afraid of? DMC3. You know what I'm afraid of? People not starting. I'm afraid of people not starting because of how certain I am about their extra body weight and visceral fat turning into disease. I'm so certain of that that I'm more afraid of you not starting. Uh, I feel like the streaming is not working for some reason. I don't know why. Why is it not working on? I'll have to test that out. Interesting. Um, do I think the Tirzepatide mouth drops work like the injections? No, they don't. They don't. I've talked to too many patients hoping that the oral versions would work as well, and they just don't. You know, you inject what you inject is much more powerful. Uh, yeah, I don't have a problem with metformin alongside your GLP-1. I think metformin is actually does a lot of good as well. Um, we have patients that don't need the extra medication because they're doing lifestyle, fasting, low carb eating, carnivore diet, resistance training. We're improving sleep, we're improving stress. So I find that they don't need the extra medication. You know, we're trying to use the least amount of medications as possible. That's sort of our approach and philosophy. Diva on YouTube, I'm on 5 milligrams of Tirzepatide, lost 22, but things have slowed down, really tired after the increase. Yeah, Diva. So you are likely experiencing what I talk about all the time. You've been under eating over a period of time and your metabolism has slowed down. Your metabolism has slowed down, and that is why you're struggling. So let's talk about the metabolic reset. I want to talk about that before I hop off. The metabolic reset is the solution to a weight loss stall. So the metabolic reset is how you fix a plateau. Let me know in the comments right now, are you plateaued? Were you losing weight on your GLP-1 medication, and when did the plateau happen? When did it start? How much weight have you lost, and how long has it been that you have not been losing weight? I like the Tirzepatide. Yes, Tirzepatide is Monjaro and Zepbound. I like that one the best. Quran, that is not inherently true in most cases. Yes, you have to be more careful about fasting if you have PCOS, but you know this is why the peptides are so powerful. Sloop 332, AOD 9604. If you utilize those peptides correctly, you know how to use them. You could prevent a lot of issues. You can prevent a lot of issues. This is what we do every day. So this is what we teach you to do. Um, can you talk about how to wean off so we don't rebound? Yeah, I mean, this is a whole long conversation, but basically, the way that you prevent the rebound is by fixing your metabolic health while you're on the medication. So, if we have time, we will talk about that. But let's get back to the metabolic reset. So, I know a lot of you guys just shared with me that you're plateaued. So, the metabolic reset is how you fix this. The metabolic reset is how you fix a weight loss stall. So, in summary, to recap, the reason why your weight loss stopped is because your body, your brain really triggered a survival mode reaction. So the metabolism slowed down because you've been under eating for too long. So what do you have to do? You have to convince the body that you're no longer starving. This is starvation mode. We have to convince the body that we're no longer starving. We have to send the signal to the metabolism, which the signal comes from your brain. So we got to send the signal to your brain. The brain has to detect, specifically it's your hypothalamus, but has to detect a trend of calories. The calorie deficit, the calorie deficit that you've been in continuously needs to stop so that your body can come out of starvation mode. So you do that with a reverse diet or a metabolic reset. So step number one with the reset, pay attention to what I'm saying. Grab your pens because this will be the big thing here. This will be how you fix your reset. And of course, if you guys need help, if you want my team to help you with this, if you want me to help you with this, just shoot us a text message right here. Fasting does not cause starvation mode if you fast correctly. And we can talk about that, how fasting doesn't trigger starvation mode. We'll talk about that next. But figure out how many calories you're averaging, right? How many calories are you averaging? And then start there about 200 calories higher per day. So let's say you're averaging about 1,200 calories a day. Hey, Dee Dee. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. So you have to add just a little bit of calories. 200 is not much. So you add about 200 for an entire week. And then the second week, you add another 200. And then the third week, you add another 200. And then the fourth week, you add another 200. This is how you slowly come out of starvation mode. You're paying attention to what's happening to your body during this reverse diet. Number one, you likely won't gain weight. I can tell you, clinical experience, 3 out of 4 people are not gaining weight. 3 out of 4 people, as they continue to increase their calories, are going to stay the same, which is crazy because how are you not gaining weight from a point where you were eating at a maintenance and then all of a sudden you're eating more and all of a sudden you keep the same weight? The only way that you can explain that would be an increase in your metabolism. 200 per week. So every day you're eating 200, but you do it 1 week at a time and then you increase every week. So, hey, Maya, I would be very interested. If you send me a message on Instagram or this phone number, they can get you in touch with me. Um, yeah, I would be interested. So you 1 out of 4 people will start losing weight. Oh, Maya, I'm sorry. We get a lot of inquiries. We get a lot of inquiries. Why don't you send me a message on this Instagram page right now, and I'll check. I can check right now if you send me a message. Here, let me find you right now. Maya dot Al dot ABB. There you go. It won't let me send you a message for some reason. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think I just sent you a message. Let me know if you got it. Okay, cool. So here's the crazy thing about the reverse diet. Here's the crazy thing about the reverse diet, guys. As you're slowly increasing your caloric intake, your 1 out of 4 people will actually start to lose weight. It's always so wild. People start to lose weight when they are increasing their calories. Secondly, you need to pay attention to your symptoms. There are certain symptoms that you need to pay attention to make sure you're doing this correctly, because obviously if you do this wrong, you're going to start gaining weight. And trust me when I say this, I understand the psychological component of not wanting to gain weight. Remember, I used to be overweight myself. In case you guys didn't know this, I didn't just lose 100 pounds myself, but I struggled for a decade in order to figure out how to maintain my weight loss. I kept gaining and losing year after year after year after year. It's freaking crazy. So I understand what it's like. I understand that piece of it to the nth degree. So there is a psychological component of just not being afraid. You need to put your guard down. You need to trust the process, which is why coaching is such a big deal. But so every week, as long as you're not gaining weight, as long as you feel like your symptoms are getting better, tiredness, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold, achiness, if those symptoms start to get better, / you're not gaining weight, that's the metabolic reset. If you don't do a metabolic reset, you're stuck. You can't go anywhere. There is no way to fix it. You can starve yourself more. That'll break your weight loss stall, right? So when you're talking about breaking your stall, the question you should be asking yourself is, I don't need to break my stall. How do I fix my metabolism? Because I can starve you. If you starve yourself more, you'll break your stall. But that's not the right question. That's not the right problem. The right problem is what caused the stall. And that's the metabolic downregulation. So how do you fix the metabolic downregulation? It's not starving yourself more. It's the opposite. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the metabolic reset or reverse diet. And like I said, guys, this is so powerful. It's very systematic and structured, and it works so well. But this is where guidance comes into play. Now, I will talk about one more thing before I hop off. I want to talk about the medication reset, because the medication reset goes hand in hand with the metabolic reset. A lot of times, and this is why I have medical providers on my team when you're working with us, under medical supervision, helping you become resensitized to the medication. See, chronic exposure to the GLP-1 meds over time, likely, we haven't proven this in research yet, but it's very practical to assume this is happening based off what we're clinically seeing and based off the fact that we know human physiology does this when you expose it to medications, to hormones. Not even just humans, by the way, all living organisms develop a resistance to things that it's being exposed to in high amounts over an extended period of time. There's a desensitization. It's a way to survive, right? Freaking microorganisms like bacteria develop they develop antibiotic resistance. So it's very logical to assume, until we prove it one way or the other, that the same thing is happening. And I think it is, because let me tell you what happens with the reset. So my working theory is chronic exposure to elevated doses of these medication causes a desensitization. So now you're on 10, 15 milligrams of tirzepatide. You're on 1.5, 2.4 milligrams of semaglutide. Your body's not responding as well, which is why you needed the larger doses to begin with, like you desensitized. And now you're stuck. So a medication reset is an opportunity to completely wash that out. So under medical supervision, guys, this is not medical advice. You need to talk to your prescribers. But anybody, in my opinion, anybody who's been on larger than the mid-level dose for more than 6 months would benefit from a medication reset, where you slowly decrease your dose under medical supervision down to 0. You're off the medications for 3 to 4 weeks, and then you start back on the starter dose. This is an opportunity to resensitize. And I can tell you from clinical experience that most people that we do this with end up needing half or even less of the dose that were on before, and it works better. They're losing weight now. They're getting better appetite suppression now because they resensitized. So that's the power of the medication reset. And the people who qualify for that, the people who need it, in my opinion, are people who are on the larger doses for a longer period of time, more than like 6 months, um, who still have more fat to lose, who still have more weight to lose, who have not achieved the optimal goal yet. And now you understand the metabolic reset, and so they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. They're very powerful tools. It's very strategic, but you have to know what the hell you're doing. I mean, that's the bottom line, you know. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. Again, last thing I'm gonna say is this number right here is the best way to reach out to me or my team. If you want to work with me or my providers, shoot us a message here, 229-441-3562. Let them know that you want to get set up for a free consult with my team. We do have a couple promotions that we're still running right now. So I would definitely check that out. And yeah, so